The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone.
Here's Jeff Zimbiella and JJ Buck.
Opening day, media day, gong show, whatever you like to call it. Sit around and watch it last night. Did you watch the Eagles come out and meet the media and all the goofy stuff, and then the Chiefs and all the groundbreaking stuff that came out of it? Maybe you did. Maybe that's your thing. If it is, God bless you and hope you enjoyed it. It's off and running, though. They're underway in New Orleans. The Super Week is now underway. Eagles and Chiefs will go at it right here on the Sports Animal on Sunday, your exclusive home for the Super Bowl, number 59. Good morning to you, boys and girls. A lot to do today as the NFL now tries to, mock the NBA. Trades have been the front page story, and so now the NFL is trying to get in on it. It's the opening drive. Jeff Zimbietta, JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. How you living?
What it do?
You good?
Good.
You watch Media Day, Opening Day, whatever the hell they call it?
Pick apart the comments.
Did you?
Look for the interesting stuff.
So did you watch
Jameis
it live?
Winston was awesome. No.
Yeah.
No, it's not
Yeah.
one of those events for me. But I love the clips of Jameis Winston talking with the dudes. He is a just awesome guy when it comes to the media stuff. He is hilarious. The way he'd set up his questions and then kind of get the guys all wound up, and then you just like, oh, okay, what's your favorite color? And the guys would just start like laughing because it's his attitude. So things like that, I like the clips, and that's what I'll watch for. The comments from certain people, but I'm not sitting there for hours watching it.
Nor would I. It flipped over for a second. I'm like, yeah, I can't. Found some decent hoops and found a 30 for 30, and it yeah.
Freaking Kansas, Iowa State last night.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah. No, so there was some hoops. I don't know what came out of it. Travis Kelce said he's not going to retire, and Jalen Hurts said it lit a fire under him. Is that kind of the big stuff that came out of it? I mean, okay.
Chiefs owner telling everyone to get over it.
Yeah, stop making excuses and deal with it and
beat us
go
at
out
some
and beat
point.
us. Yeah, I guess that's it. So we'll get into all that, and I mean, to me, the big NFL news happened during the day, and with all the NBA trades going down and gathering the headlines, and we're not done with that yet. I'm certain we're not, because it's Tuesday and the deadline's Thursday. The reigning defensive player of the year, the guy who you can argue is the best defensive player in the game, Myles Garrett, demanded a trade from the Cleveland Browns. While I love calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It's always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. That's what he said. Canton, of course, being the Hall of Fame. 29 years old. He's got 2 years left on his 5-year, $125 million extension that he signed in 2020, but no more guaranteed money after that. And then Cooper Kupp. The Rams told Cooper Kupp, the terrific wide receiver for the Rams, that they're going to trade him, that they're going to save $20 million by trading him. And he has been very clear he does not want to go. So one dude's getting traded and doesn't want to. One guy probably will get traded and can't wait to get the hell out.
Here's the thing, Jeff. Was terrific.
Yeah.
If Cooper Kupp was terrific,
he was.
They would be making this move. Cooper Kupp's good. He got paid, but then you're looking at it now and you're like, yeah, that value is not matching up with what we can get the next year, especially with the way Puka Nacua slid in and
became that guy.
Does everything Cooper Kupp used to do.
Yeah, which is amazing that they found these two guys. I don't know who takes that contract.
Yeah, they're if they do move him, it's not going to be great value coming back to the Rams because they're going to have to eat some of the salary.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they'd rather do that and get some draft capital and pay some of his salary than release him and take any sort of extra cap hit next year.
2021 was his year where he broke the records. Led the NFL in reception, receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and then he signed a 3-year extension at $80.1 million. And he just finished the first season of that. Scheduled to have a cap hit of almost $30 million next year, 27.3 the year after. And he's been hurt. And I still think he's really good. They got a guy that probably plays his role better and cheaper and younger than him right now in Puka Nacua. And Nacua is a little bigger than him and a little tougher than, runs over guys.
Kupp, when you're looking at it, $25 million for a wide receiver 2, that isn't as consistent anymore. I get it, man. It's business. You got to make these moves. And I think a team would be happy to have him, but knowing that you're not bringing in Cooper Kupp to be
Cooper Kupp,
your number one, or really anything other than just to try to add to what you already have established. And the big thing of all this is, I know people with the Browns and are pointing all back to, well, this was all messed up with Deshaun Watson. Yes, but this is also a moment. I'm Cleveland. I'm going, all right, this allows me to reset. You go out there, get a first-round pick plus something else for Myles Garrett. You draft a quarterback number 2 overall, and you restart this thing in Cleveland.
I mean, you can get a haul for him. You can, even with his contract, it's probably still a steal. Cooper Kupp put out a tweet. I was informed that the team will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. I don't agree with the decision and always believed it was going to begin and end in L.A. And he continued on that. But he made it very clear that he wants to play, that he's not done. Still, if there's one thing that I've learned over the years, there are so many things that are out of your control. It's how you respond to these things that you will look back on and remember. I've taken so much pride in playing alongside my teammates for the LA community. So thank you for embracing my family and making this such a special place for us. 2024 began with one of the best training camps of my career. Preparations start now for 2025. Highly motivated, as healthy as ever, and looking forward to playing elite football for years to come. Love you guys, but coming for it all. It's hard to not like Cooper Kupp.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with Cooper Kupp. It's just the fact that the production doesn't match up with the salary, and that's a team that needs to make moves each year to stay consistent when it comes to their salary cap. They've done such a good job on both sides of football finding young talent to move, and know the guarantees aren't big there, but the contract would be big if it clicks in. Is you never want to give money back, and that's probably the only way that he would stay in Los Angeles. But off to something else. Cooper Kupp.
Let's play radio with you. 505-246-0610. Area code 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. Phone line and the text line. Emails will come in this morning as they always do. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Adrian's producing on the visuals. You can watch us on Facebook, the OD and the AM, on Xfinity Channel 26, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Let's get started. Art, you're up first. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. How you doing, Art?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jeff?
Good. What's happening?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on a couple things. So I was very happy with the grit that the men's basketball team showed going up to a hostile environment to turn around second half and play their game. And secondly, I've been kind of checking out these different sites about, the battle between the Pac-12, so-called Pac-12 and Mountain West.
Yeah.
And I have to really, I was kind of hard with the Mountain West commissioner, but I have to give her kudos. It seems like she is really focused on getting the Mountain West, their deal first, to where putting the pressure on the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 is doing the same song and dance that caused them to dismantle, but I'm glad she's going to stick to her guns and say, you're going to play hardball with me? Let's play my other little female friend, because you will be paying those fees. And so what are you going to do now when you know you're probably going to lose that case in the courts? Go ahead and blow all your money away, but we're going to stick it to you. Now, if I am her and it doesn't go the Pac-12 way, for these guys have to come back with a little humbleness back to the Mountain West, the merch that I would put in that contract. You're not going to fool me twice. You want to play football and get something instead of nothing, then you will agree to this contract stating that you're not going to pull this crap again, because you do, you're done, bottom line. So I'm kind of impressive that she has kind of protected what's left of Mountain West, so putting the pressure on the Pac-12 to say, no, you're not all that in a bag of chips. But that's all I got to say, brother. I'll listen to you.
Thanks, Art. All right, so there's been a lot of reports out there about the next media rights deals, right? And JJ, it's gotten wild over the last 4 or 5 days, and it does appear that the Mountain West is in a good position. I don't want to say it's done, and I don't want to say it's almost done. It is in a good position to continue with its current TV partners, CBS and Fox. Is that what you're seeing a lot of? And the numbers are going to be what the numbers are going to be. You've all seen numbers. I think the Pac-12 numbers that have been bantied about are a lot lower than I know the Pac-12 teams, the teams that are flocking to the new Pac-12, were expecting. And, people are losing their minds on social media, and, then add Tulsa and add Tulane and add Memphis and grab Texas State now. I think they're going to get Texas State soon. I think Texas State is going to the Pac-12. I think that's going to soon be announced. I do. Because they need an 8th full member. And I just don't know where it's coming from. There's no way I see where Memphis and Tulane are going for the numbers that are being thrown around. And the Mountain West numbers are going to be a little lower than the Pac-12 numbers, but not dramatically lower. This isn't working out as of now. Now, this thing could turn on a dime, but the way that the Pac-12 teams figured it was going to go, and I think they figured everybody was going to flock to them because they were the Pac-12, and that the values were going to go up. And the reports that I saw yesterday was there's nobody that they can add that would increase their value.
They overplayed their hand. And they say that, hey, we have the banner. We have 2 former power conference schools that are going to be able to absorb these schools and all take the next step together. And everyone outside of those schools is going, okay, maybe you're a little bit better, but you're not double the revenue better. You're not millions upon millions upon millions of dollars better than what you just left.
Yeah. There was a report, John Canzano, and he's a Pac-12 guy, and sometimes he's right, sometimes. Like I was having dinner with some people the other night, and they're like, he's just so totally off. And people who know, the numbers are just not nearly what, Mountain West or the Pac-12, $8 to $10 million per school. They were thinking 12 to 15, and the Mountain West is going to be somewhere in the area of 5 to 8, which is a little bit more than now. But look, man, I've said this for a long time. Both of them would have been better merging. There was some whispers about a merge. I just don't see, with all the bad blood, JJ. I know business is business. I just don't see, after all the bad blood, how they all merge back, how they all come together without somebody being left out.
Yeah, especially with the attitudes of those other schools.
Yeah.
And what they did to get to this point. And now you're going back, and like you said, it's not going to be, I don't think anything would be a full. And then, I mean, like full merger, not.
Right.
But it's I don't think anyone thought this was going to just be a move that was clean and worked out. And we all saw this happening. We all saw this being a bumpy ride for a while.
All right, latest on Lowell basketball. We get back. Ladies play tonight. Men play tomorrow. Mountain West Conference Player of the Week award was handed out. Some other lists came out. I want to update you, get you some thoughts on that, and I'm really interested in what you have to say when it comes to this stuff. Hey, if you're shopping for a Valentine's gift, and I know you are because it's next Friday, John Thomas Jewelers is the spot. It is the best jewelry store, period. The only 5-star Google-rated full-service jewelry store in town. Fastest growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years. Best jeweler in Albuquerque is voted that way for 4 straight years. Even voted the coolest jewelry store by In-Store Magazine. I was in there the other day and just looking around at the great stuff they've got. I mean, if you need a new watch, I was looking at watches because, well, my watch is in need. They're repairing my watch, but they'll make anything you want. They've got this custom, state-of-the-art custom design center right there on premises. Like John showed me this one time. This guy showed him a picture, and he made a piece out of it. They'll create whatever ring you want. But right now, what they've got going on for you from now until Valentine's Day, and it's amazing. They are going to match your purchase with a pair of lab-grown diamond studs, absolutely free. So if you buy a $5,000 engagement ring, let's just say, they are going to gift you a $5,000 pair of diamond studs. Buy a $500 bracelet, they'll match it with a $500 pair of studs. A $1,000 necklace, match it with a $500 pair of stud earrings. Go by and see what they got. You're going to find something that you're going to fall in love with. She's going to love. It's going to be a great Valentine's Day, great anniversary, whatever it is you're looking to gift. They're on Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal, 3rd floor of the Lewis University building. It's John Thomas Jewelers, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310, the 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, right across the street from the mall. Go see them at johnthomasjewelers.com.
Are you?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say, I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your exclusive home for Super Bowl 59. Coverage begins Sunday, 8 a.m. with tailgate talk. Then Westwood One's coverage leading you up to kickoff in Super Bowl 59 at 4:30. The Chiefs and the Eagles right here on the Sports Animal. 2 Men On, our afternoon show. Van and Fred are out in New Orleans. They're on Radio Row. You can listen to them all week at 4 o'clock and get the lunacy from Radio Row. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Lady Lobos back at it tonight. Late one for you at the pit. We get late ones the next 2 nights. 8:30 starts because of the television. That'll be an 8:40 start. I promise you'll get slid for an 8:30 start. Lobo ladies and Colorado State. The voice of the Lobos, J.J. Buck, will have the call. Kind of got to win that one for the Lobos tonight.
Yeah, snap a 3-game losing streak. Also have lost the last 3 games at home. Everyone is still pretty bunched up in terms of the race for second place, which is still on the table for multiple teams, including the Lobos. And be nice to sweep the Rams, but it's going to be tough with what we've seen out of Lobos the last few games.
All right, so that's tonight. You can get out there at 8:30, and JJ will have the call. It's national TV tonight, so you're going to get a lot of TV time. Every time you take Bradbury, there's going to be you.
Yeah,
Smile,
it's
comb your hair
Fox Sports 1, I think, back-to-back nights for you and him.
Yeah, it's big. Men, tomorrow night, Colorado State in the building to play UNM, who is anywhere between an 8 and a 9 right now, which you're right on that 8-9 line, which is always a scary one because that means if you win, you get the 1 seed in the next round. But lots going to play out, and we'll talk to Jerry Palm about it on Thursday. Nelly Jr. Joseph was named the player of the week in the Mountain West Conference. 15 points. He had 13 in the second half, 15-13 on Saturday in the win in Logan. According to UNM's release, since the 1986-87 season, the first in which the NCAA differentiated between offensive and defensive rebounds, This is such a good Steve Kirtland stat. Only 4 Lobos have had double-digit defensive rebounds in 3 consecutive games. I mean, that's just work, man. That's that's work going to find the stat, because this is one somebody hands to you. They hand it to us. You've got Nelly right now, right? So again, let me give you the stat again. Only 4 Lobos since 86-87 have had double-digit defensive rebounds in 3 consecutive games. Nelly currently, Morris Udeze in the 22-23 season, Drew Gordon in the 11-12 season, and Louis Lamar back in 93 and 94. Dude is a machine. You know, I was having this conversation in the hall yesterday, and I look forward to having it with Kenny actually today. The improvement of Nelly from last year to this year. And I don't know if it's overshadowed's not the right word. We were just all so in awe of JT Toppin last year, where he came out of nowhere and he was so bouncy and highlight-y, if that makes sense. And boy, would they be something if the two of them were in the front court this year. But does it feel to you, because it does, and we've all watched a lot of him, the improvement in Nelly's game on both ends of the court, but especially to me defensively, has been dramatic.
I thought he was a great defender last year.
Yeah.
It was the offense I think people were expecting more of, but that's where I think you deferred some to JT Toppin, who had an exceptional freshman season. And I know you talked to Coach plenty. You've been a lot closer to that team this year than I have, but even the times I've talked with Coach about it, it's as simple for him too, is that he was here.
Retention and not being in Nigeria.
He wasn't overseas.
Yeah, no, but he's talked about retention a lot too.
Yeah,
but not being in Nigeria and missing that whole September, October,
because he was he had stats. Man, that dude is one of the guys you look and go that looks like he's been lifting weights since he was 3 years old. Like he is just built. His footwork and hands are better this season, and that of course the opportunities to score are more without JT Toppin. And I think that's always a challenge too, working with experienced players and getting them better, because he came over, all conference honors, ton of expectations, but he was still able to get better as a basketball player. And that's a credit to both parties, that you're willing to put in that work, even when you have done so much already as a college player.
When the offense runs through him, they're so good, right? Inside out, and he is the best big in the league. I haven't seen somebody who really can defend him one-on-one. And when they drop doubles and sometimes triples, I think he's a good enough passer to get it out of there and make something happen. Then there was this. The Nate Smith Hall of Fame has the Bob Cousy Award. It's the best point guard in America. They put out their list of 10. Donovan Dent's not on that list. Richard Pitino's quote, I thought was so perfect. And I think he handles these things really, really well. The Lobos are locked in on the task at hand and don't care about individual awards. With that being said, not having Donovan Dent on this list is a crime. He's right. The only player in America averaging over 19.5 points and 6.5 assists a game, and that's kind of what a point guard does, right? Assist and score a little bit. I don't know, JJ. I haven't watched everybody, and I've seen most of the guys on the list play. I haven't watched them all. But for crying out loud, it's hard for me to see a list that there's 10 better point guards in America than him.
He is one of the 10 best point guards in America.
Look, there's good guards on that list. I'm not telling you they're not.
Yeah, but he should be one of those guards.
Yeah.
On that list. You know what stands out? There's one
non-power conference
there's
guard.
One team on that list that you consider West.
That's Gonzaga. Yeah. I mean, do you consider
That's
Texas
happens,
West?
Man.
Yeah. They don't see you.
Texas isn't on. Tennessee.
It's Tennessee. Yeah. Alabama, Florida, Gonzaga,
you get to,
Iowa State, Marquette.
Big 12 country, and then it's just all blurry now out here.
Like Addie tells me all the time, they don't know there's anything west of the Mississippi. They just don't. Now he is on the Oscar Robertson Award list. That's 50 players, a midseason list for player of the year. He was the only Mountain West player on that list. He's the only player, I'll give it to you again, only player in Division I basketball averaging over 19 points and 6.5 assists per game. The only player nationally to have 3 30-point games and 3 10-assist games this season. Look, man, I'm not looking to play Homer. I'm not. I rarely will do that, but I know what my eyes tell me, and I get to watch him every night. You get to watch him every night. There's no galaxy where Donovan Dent's not one of the top 10 point guards in America. I want to hear what you have to say. 505-246-0610. Emails jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. Come back, take your calls, take your thoughts. And UNM's got a brand new position in football. It's called General Manager. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
The Big Ten, ACC, SEC, and Big 12.
Text line. What about Oregon State and Washington State's dominance over their Mountain West opponents in football and the WCC opponents in basketball? Oh, wait. I thought they were power forwards, from Robert. Yeah, they have not been dominant. In fact, when you take a look at what's going on in the two Pac-2 teams that are playing in the West Coast Conference, Oregon State and Washington State.
It's a classic case of anyone who gets a bit of power or feels like they have a lot of money can abuse that power very easily. And the Pac-12 was like, we have a banner.
Mm-hmm. It's really
we
cool.
did. We were maybe a little piece of this banner.
It's the Conference of Champions.
It's a Conference of Champions. We have this banner, and we have this name that is recognized across the United States. And we are going to show that we are powerful, that leave them for leaving us behind. We'll show them. And everyone's like, yeah, well, there's reason you got left behind.
They're in 6th and 7th place in the West Coast Conference. Behind, I don't know, does anybody realize Gonzaga's in 3rd place in the West Coast Conference right now? St. Mary's is 10-0 in that league. San Francisco's 8-3. Gonzaga, Santa Clara, Loyola, all in front of Oregon State and Washington State. Santa Clara, Loyola, San Francisco, all in front of Oregon State and Washington State in basketball. Oh, but in football they dominated, right? Yeah, no, they really didn't. They really didn't. In fact, do you recall Washington State coming in here and getting beat by New Mexico? Do you recall that? Yeah, no, they really didn't dominate. Nor did Oregon State. But okay. All right. It's the opening drive. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff@sportsanalytics.com. Kenny Thomas is going to be in at 9 o'clock. We'll kick it with Kenny. What is today? Tuesday, so he'll be relatively on time today. Mountain West standings, by the way. Lobos are 10-1, Utah State 9-2, Colorado State's 8-2. This is a really big one today. You know, JJ, the schedule was interesting as you went through it early. And you got tripped at San Jose State, and you had, I thought the opener was tough. When I say the opener, the true opener, not that first San Jose State game, right? The when you got into Mountain West play for good. You had the road game at Colorado State. You went up there and you won it convincingly, and then went to Fresno and won convincingly. It's like, all right. And then it kind of, you know, the Nevada game was really close at home. Wyoming, you blew out San Diego State. But we looked at the back end of the schedule and said, man, second half, you're going to have to go to Utah State. You're going to have to go to San Diego State and Boise State, and you're going to have to go to Reno. Vegas was the 9th game. JJ, of those 5 road games, Vegas, San Diego, Reno, Boise, hell, Fort Collins has to go in there, so that would be 6, and Logan. You're 3-0 right now. You're 3-0. You won in Fort Collins, you won in Vegas, you won in Logan. You still got to go to Boise, San Diego, and Reno. Let me tell you something. You come out of there 4-2, 5-1, and take care of your business at home. You did something.
Probably going to be regular season champs. And it's how good the Lobos are this season, plus where the conference is, and they're taking advantage of that. They are the best team in the Mountain West Conference. And these road games, they're tough. It's conference play. It's tough for anyone in the conference to go on the road. But they're not games where anymore you're just going to be satisfied that they competed. No, you expect them to go into these places and have a chance to win the game.
All right, 505-246-0610. I think we all know that I was just trying to look at Lenardi's work to do. So New Mexico is still a work to do team, not a should be in team. His high majors that are should be in are Memphis and St. Mary's. Work to do are all Mountain West teams. New Mexico, Boise State, San Diego State, Utah State. He gives the Lobos only a 34. Is this today's article? When was this written? It's got to be old, right? It's got to be. When was February 4th? It's today.
That's today.
He's got Utah State way more in than New Mexico. At a 65% chance than New Mexico. He said the BPI forecast is much lower on the Lobos than the other models, which average a probability of around 78% for them. So there's some models that have them at 78. He's got them at 34. Some of that's because New Mexico's BPI ranking is 52nd, lower than the other power rankings, such as the Net and Ken Palm, where they're 46 and 42. Bart Torvik's got them 36. Lobos built up a solid resume, ranking 34th in strength of SOR. What's SOR? Strength of resume?
Record.
Strength of record. What do you say schedule? All right. As long as they avoid a major collapse, the Mountain West gets a reasonable number of bids. It's hard to think New Mexico will be left out, as indicated by their presence in 95% of bracket matrix entries. All right. You're in a good spot. Just don't stumble. Just don't stumble. All right. There's college football's changing. And I'm not certain I understand exactly what the role will be. But college sports trading. Remember when Woj left ESPN and went to his alma mater, St. Bonaventure, to become the basketball general manager? And you're like, what? I don't even know what that means. And you're seeing it all around college sports. I met UNLV's Dan Mullen's chief of staff the other day. I got a chief of staff.
See,
for college football. What do you do? But with all the intricacies now with NIL and everything else. So Lobo football is reportedly hiring a general manager for the first time they've ever had a general manager. They're taking a guy that was the general manager at Memphis, one of the best group of 5 programs. A guy named Bo Davidson is expected to get the same role at New Mexico, a multi-year contract, and what's being called a significant raise to lure him from Davidson to Memphis. JJ, is this a player personnel thing? Is this helping recruitment? Is it dealing with agents and NIL? So it's dealing with the agents and the NIL.
You have a money guy. You have a general manager that starts putting that stuff together of, all right, this is what the players are worth on the roster. This is kind of the NIL market. These are the offers that are out there. This is what we have. This is what
slotting everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And working with the head coach and who gets how much. We got this much money, and
it's
how
no
do we slice
longer
it up?
just kind of like, hey, we recruited this kid, and our collective really likes him. He's getting a deal. Like, it's
so the collective doesn't get to decide anymore.
A collective decides. You have to work with them, but
when it gets brought in house, is they expect everything to be brought in house.
That's why you want to get ahead of that.
Yeah, get used to it, and so you have a head coach, and so in the NBA the general manager hires the head coach. In this case, the head coach will still be higher on the org chart than the general manager. Yes. Unlike the NBA, where the general manager will be higher on the org chart, although not on the salary chart, than the coach. In college, the coach will be higher on the org chart than the general manager, but obviously the GM is going to have a big role here as far as player personnel, money, and all of those sorts of things. I'm interested in the evolution of that position. Whether, some people call it chief of staff or some people call it GM or whatever. Maybe they're both different things. But this is going to be directly dealing with the players as it becomes more and more of a pro model. And this is something, guy who played at North Texas, was a graduate assistant there, coached offensive and defensive lines at Trinity Valley Community College. He was a, JUCO guy, Northeastern Oklahoma State. High school teacher, position coach. Then he got back into the college ranks at Howard Payne University. And then was at Virginia Tech for a while. Director of player personnel at Texas Tech, UConn, Georgia Tech. Well, he's bounced around from 21 to 22 to 23. He's made 1-year stops everywhere. 1-year stops as he's climbing this thing. Texas Tech, UConn, Georgia Tech, Memphis, and now New Mexico. You keep all your gear. You know, like all the tracksuits, and you keep all your Nikes, right? You get different colored Nikes or Adidas.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
It's shoes.
But you keep like all your quarter zips and your hoodies and all
Probably have a couple that you really like that you'll hang on to.
And you just got like a bin just loaded up with all that stuff. You give most of it away. Like you give it all the hoser on the way out.
A bunch of stuff at Goodwill.
Sorry. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Let's get back into some NFL stuff and what's going on there. The trade rumors. You've got Super Week going on. What did Jalen Hurts say yesterday when they put the mic in front of him at opening day or media day or whatever, and how the last time these two teams played the Super Bowl is going to affect this time? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep.
All season from the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, and Big 12.
We're going to go to the NFL, but on that Pac-12 thing, it's really interesting. Memphis Athletic Director Ed Scott was on our local radio show in Memphis yesterday, and he was asked about the Pac-12, and he said, you guys all want to talk about the Pac-12. I don't live in a what-if world. We got to beat Tulane tonight. You want to talk about Pac-12? I want to beat Tulane. But he said Pac-12 hasn't presented a new deal since the early conversations, and that deal, which he said didn't make financial sense. And, I mean, I got to believe they haven't made a better offer because they don't have a better offer to make, right? If they had a better offer, I think they'd make one. So, 505-246-0610. All right, yesterday, NFL. How many of you watched it? I'm cool if you did, if that's your thing. Like, I mean, do you? Obviously, people watch it because it was on a bunch of networks last night. The NFL, what do they call it? Is it opening day? Is that what it is?
Oh, it's just like, why does anyone have press conferences? Get stories and quotes and comments out there.
Yeah, and I think they just do it all at once. I understand why they do. I'm not mad at anybody. It's just something I can't. I flipped over. I looked at it for a second. I'm like, it's not my thing. But if it's your thing, it's your thing. I don't know that a lot came out of it. Jalen Hurts is the Eagles quarterback. So he was a big guy there. Remember, these two teams played 2 years ago. And he was asked about the rematch and finishing this time around. And what did he learn from playing the same framework of a team, right? I mean, both teams were a little bit different 2 years ago. Saquon Barkley certainly wasn't there. The receiving core for Kansas City was different. But he said, I've learned so much. It's the same as any other game. And, I think the moments are the moments, but ultimately, every game has its lessons, good, bad, or indifferent. So just being able to become wiser, grow more mature, and take all these lessons for the next season and the next games. It's had a great driving force. It lit a flame, lit a fire in me. To have this opportunity again is exactly what you work for. Good answer. Right? You rehearse these things. Like, I mean, I saw Mahomes, the first guy grabbed him and, is it any different or does it get old? No, I'll never take this for granted. I'll never not enjoy it. Yeah, like, he's got all his answers canned, right?
Yeah, I think that's a difference of been there, done that. People are looking for experience and how does that play into this game. And guys that have done it can handle this week better. Just wrapping your mind around, all right, let's just go answer a bunch of questions, look at the schedule, a couple more media availabilities, and then lock in.
Yeah, and I know people always say, where it is. And I think back in the day, guys would get out a lot more. If you want to go to New Orleans and go do New Orleans, do Bourbon Street, and by the way, it's really fun. And the music's great, and the scene's great, and the parties are great, and the bars are but if you want to do that, if you're one of these dudes, man, you could do that in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, last week, next week, right? I think these two teams are veteran enough, and certainly Kansas City, that's going to be the message. Hey, we're locked in on business. I don't know that who was the dude for the Raiders when it was in, I want to say it was in San Diego, and the guy went down to Tijuana.
Yeah, one of their offensive linemen. He was off the rocker.
Right, way back in the day. Yeah. Travis Kelce said he's going to still play football. I love coming to work every day. I feel like I got a lot of football left. We'll see what happens. I know I've been setting myself up for other opportunities. It's always been the goal. Knowing football only lasts so long, but you have to find a way to get another career. But I plan on being Kansas City Chief playing football. Why wouldn't he be? I mean, people are, he's slowing down. Remember that was the mantra earlier in the season?
It's a fair question to ask. 35 years old.
Okay.
Tight end.
You watching him play?
Yeah. I watch him coast through the regular season, show up in the playoffs, and that's perfect for where he is right now.
He had some pretty good games second half of the regular season. That was a dude I found on the waiver wire because some dude cut him.
Yeah, I just think it's natural. Who wouldn't ask that question? You're a 35-year-old NFL player.
Yeah, I'm not mad at anybody asking the question.
Like now, it seems the way we've seen not just quarterbacks but other athletes, if their body is responding, man, a lot of these guys are playing as long as they want.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at asking the question, and I think the answer is predictable. And again, that's what you get, right? I thought some of the interesting stuff, and I don't even know if it was interesting because Kellen Moore really didn't say much, but he's, does it feel like he's the leader now in the clubhouse since the Saints have not went out and got a coach?
Yeah, who else is going to be? If he says no, where do they go?
Well, they can go to Mike McCarthy.
Well, he already said he's not taking a job.
Did he say that
this time around?
I missed that one. There's places to go, but it feels like if they were going to hire someone else, they'd have hired someone else. I guess they haven't had an in-person interview, right? They can have Zoom interviews with Kellen Moore, but until he's out of the playoffs, which will be Monday, they can't have it in person. But it feels like Kellen Moore's getting the job in New Orleans. Is that a good job for him? First job?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's an NFL job. To sit here and say that you can wait and get a better job. Bobby Slowick, the Houston Texans offense coordinator, was one of those names that was buzzing. He didn't get a head coaching job, and he just was fired by the Texans after this last season.
All right. Other side of the coin, Ben Johnson was the big guy last year. Didn't took his name out because he didn't like any of the jobs and just got a job that theoretically he loves and got the Chicago Bears job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can work either way, right?
I think if you're Kellen Moore, you're at a place where your offense is set that you should have a very good year next year.
Yeah. But, no, I know there's not a lot of – he's a young man. I don't want Kellen to go get set up for a job where he's going to fail and never get another head coaching job. And like Dennis Allen. By every indication, Dennis Allen's a really good coach. Did he get a defensive job? Is it the Raiders?
He's had plenty of opportunities with the Raiders.
Is he the Raiders?
And it was the Saints. A ton of chance to be a head coach.
Yeah. It kind of feels like it's leaning that way. All right, Kenny's going to be with us. We'll kick it with Kenny Thomas coming up at 9:00. Stop making excuses. That's what the Chiefs owner says. And some of the details around the Luka Doncic thing. And there's a theory or at least a story on why they only got one pick from the Lakers. One draft pick. I don't know if you've seen this or not. It's kind of crazy. And it makes no sense even when you hear it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
You're listening
We would like
to
to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action find it on ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info,
off Super Bowl 59 at 4:30. Chiefs and Eagles, the Super Bowl here on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. I got a couple emails I want to get you. Les says, translation for general manager, new position for overpaid administrator that once entrenched we will never get rid of. I don't know, man.
No, it's the evolution of college athletics into a pro model.
And that's kind of where I'm going. Les, if you keep staying and doing what you've done, you're going to be who you've been. And they're trying to evolve this thing into where college football is going. And just where it's going to be. I mean, you know, I know you don't like when people get paid. Everybody gets angry when somebody gets paid. We hate success. We hate guys. And it's not going to be an overpaid. I mean, overpaid. You decide what's overpaid. I know nobody likes anybody making a living around here, but you decide what's overpaid. He may do such a good job that a year from now he bounces and you're going to go, why did we get rid of him? I mean, I don't know. But all right, Ryan says, Lobos talk. Hey, Jeff, your resident Aztec fan here. I emailed in a few weeks ago. You guys continue to have one of the best morning shows in the West. Wow, thank you. I've been really impressed with the Lobos this year. I did have a question. How important do you think it is for them to win an NCAA tournament game this year? Seems like this could be their best shot before Pitino potentially leaves. The cupboard becomes bare. 2012 must feel like an eternity ago since that last tournament win. I hope you guys can finally make that run. I think my Aztecs will continue to pull their February and March magic and might be able to have a decent run as well. Keep up the great work. It's from Ryan. Appreciate you, Ryan. Kind words from an Aztec. There's not a lot of kind words from Aztec fans. I like that. Yeah, JJ, I think it's important, to get there and, to win a game. Yeah. I mean, 2012 was a long time
gigantic ago. If you want to take advantage of having good teams, the Lobos the last 2 years have had good basketball teams. We're riding high and just gutted by the way that Clemson did them in the first round. And then this year, I feel like they should be an NCAA tournament team. I don't think they're going to fall on their face and all of a sudden lose 6 games and not get there. And when you get there, it's going to be a tough matchup. So go out there, and if you can get one, who knows what happens after.
No matter who you get, it's going to be a tough matchup, right? You got some brackets on here. What is Jerry Palm's got him as a 9 seed versus UConn? I mean, that's a tough matchup. The 2-time defending champion. That's who beat San Diego State in the final 2 years ago. There's another one. Jerry Palm's also got Utah State as a 9 versus West Virginia, and the Aztecs playing Clemson in a 10-9 game. Yeah. Look, however you get there, if you get in, it is going to be tough. No matter who it is that you play, you're playing a champion or a team that's really, really good. Get in. But yeah, no, Ryan, I really, really appreciate the email. Whoever you play, it is going to be tough. Look at it. Where's Lenardi got him at last 4 in? He does. He's got him at last 4 in. And he's got him playing Central Florida in a play-in game. Does that count as winning a game? It does. But does it? Right? I mean, it does. I watched UCF the other night. They're pretty good, too. Again, no matter who you play. He has San Diego State, New Mexico, San Diego State, Carolina, and UCF as the first 4 out. That's a hell of a list. I'm sorry, the last 4 in. First 4 out are Xavier, VCU, Brigham Young, and Arizona State. So, all right. JJ, have you read a lot of this, how the trade went down, the Luka stuff? And how it didn't get out, and how Danny Ainge was involved because Utah had to get involved because they took 2 second-round picks for taking on the contract of Jalen Hood-Schifino. And evidently Danny Ainge didn't even know that this involved the Lakers until 30 minutes before it was too late. So the big piece, according to the story on CBS, and actually the Athletic reported this on Monday, Luka Doncic agent Bill Duffy was not in the loop. And I don't know what that means. It says without the ability to talk to Duffy, and by extension to Doncic. The ability. I mean, I find it hard to believe this thing went down in an hour and a half, and they couldn't wait for the dude to finish dinner. Right? How at the trade deadline an NBA agent is just absolutely unavailable. But the Lakers claim that they didn't know whether Luka would commit to signing a long-term extension. His contract's up in 2026. And so without knowing whether or not Luka would sign a long-term deal, the Lakers were not willing, at least initially and ultimately, right, to give up a second first-round pick. That's what everybody's been running around questioning. Why? How did you get away without giving up more? Well, Rob Pelinka basically said, look, man, I don't know that he's going to sign a long-term deal, so I can't give up more picks than just one, and we can't get a hold of his agent. Can I be real? I mean, well, it's Luka freaking Doncic. Whether they were able to know they were getting him for a year and a half anyway, they absolutely should have been forced to give up a second rounder, and probably a whole lot more than that.
Why Rob Pelinka and the Lakers
won the deal.
Like there's nothing other than the Mavs to win an NBA championship. All right, in the next 2 years, you tip your cap. You say, congratulations. You did that. Everyone in that league, everyone across the sports world is stunned. And then a lot of times it's saying, well, I'm zigging while everyone else is zagging. What the Mavericks general manager did was one of the worst trades in sports history.
I mean, we'll see. We'll watch it all play out.
All right. Yes, there's a possibility.
They're not going to win this year.
For them to win an NBA championship.
You think they win this year?
Anything is possible.
Do you think they will? I don't think they do.
But for them to get to a point, you can be upset and have questions about Luka Doncic, but to then just get to a point where you lock in on one team and in the middle of the season trade him and you have nothing to build on after it. You have no extra assets that you can use to acquire players in the future. All the draft picks that are traded in the NBA, a small percentage of them are actually used to get a young player. It's just all about moving assets to get other established players. And the Mavericks did not get anything worth the value of Luka Doncic for the future of their franchise. All they did was have a general manager sit there and try to spin it saying, well, yeah, we're going to win now because we got Anthony Davis.
We'll play defense. What's AD's contract? I mean, he's got 3 left. I want to say he's got 3 left. They got Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving. I mean, they look, they've got a core. If you start a team right now and you say Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson, it's a nice core. And with Lively and the pieces that they got around there, they're interesting, man. They're interesting.
But you go from
yes.
I don't care if Luka's fat, man. Figure it out.
Yes.
Fat dude still took it to the NBA Finals last year.
Yes.
Messes around, gets triple-double everything.
Every night when he plays.
Like, and it's a different level of Luka offensively than the other guys that we've seen, like a James Harden in this league. Yeah, there's plenty of guys that get buckets, but Luka played last year, showed up, played the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I don't look at the NBA Finals as, well, Luka couldn't beat the Celtics. That was a different level.
It wasn't. And his team wasn't built to beat the Celtics. And this whole thing was, well, it's going to get out. And if it gets out, then they're going to kill the trade, and then other teams are going to want in on it. Look, I get why the Lakers didn't want out. I understand that the urgency, hey, man, we can't get a hold of this agent. Dude won't return our call. I can't give you 2 first because we can't get a hold of this guy. And the Mavericks just said, well, look, man, you got to wait. And no, it's going to get out, and then somebody's going to kill the trade.
Nico was so the Mavericks general manager was so anxious to get this done. He got played. That's a perfect play from Pelinka. Like, well, I don't know, man. I can't give.
How can I give you more if I don't know if the guy and the agent won't return my call? I mean, you see if you can get him on the line. Aaron, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Aaron.
I couldn't agree more about that Luka Doncic trade. I mean, the rumor was they didn't like his conditioning or his work ethic. I mean, the guy's 24, 25 years old.
Yep.
I mean,
25.
Kobe Bryant didn't become the Mamba killer mentality at 24, 25 years old. Okay, he was much older when he started putting in that type of mindset, and you just don't know if Luka could do that. I just think that he pulled that trade way too early in that guy's career. You just don't trade guys like that. Yeah, I completely agree that was a very, very early gun. You pulled the trigger too early in Luka Doncic's career, made that decision too early that he's injury prone or not working hard enough. That's like trading Shaquille O'Neal when he was 24, 25 years old. Yeah, he didn't work very hard, but come on, 24, 25, you don't know.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Yep. Hey, the second question I have for you guys is, how much better do you think the Lobos are now than when they played Arizona State?
I mean, how do you quantify? I think they're better now. But Arizona State's probably a little bit better now too. I mean, don't you think everybody gets a little bit better? I think they're better. I don't know how to quantify it.
If what you're saying is true, that's worrisome because Arizona State's getting clobbered in the Big 12.
Yeah. And
if the Lobos are better, but yet Arizona State is also better, Arizona State's getting clobbered in the Big 12. So I'm wondering how the Lobos are going to stack up against some of these power conferences.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Because Arizona State is not playing well, and the Lobos got beat against Arizona State handily.
No, it's a fair question, Aaron. I appreciate you. JJ, do you think they're better now? And how if they played Arizona State now, if they played UCLA now? I mean, St. John's ranked 12th in the country now. Most teams get better as time goes on, don't they? Most
good teams do.
Okay.
Not most.
Is Arizona State good? Would they beat Arizona State now?
They would be favored over Arizona State now, I think.
Yeah. And that's fair. Would they beat SC or UCLA now?
I think they still could.
Yeah, I think they could. St. John's got really good. St. John's got really good.
And I think that's the one game that's kind of always in the back of your mind as a Lobo fan this year of going into the NCAA tournament. And like that's what you're facing probably even in the first round.
That's probably right. There were 5 of those games, man. We talked about it back when the season started. You went 3-2 in those games. You beat UCLA, USC, and VCU. You got beat by Arizona State and St. John's. 4 of the 5 games were away from the pit. That was your non-conference, like your big non-conference games. And I remember at the UCLA game, in the pregame show at the UCLA game, Richard Pitino said, you schedule, and he scheduled, assuming JT Toppin would be on the team. But you scheduled because you want to have consideration to get into the tournament. And he says, now, if we lose, I remember him saying this, if we lose all of them, then it doesn't do you any good. And it never entered my mind that they might lose all of them. But I mean, certainly as a coach, that's your fear, right? But he said it out loud. They went 3-2 of the 5. I thought that was pretty good. The stumbles was New Mexico State and San Jose State. You just won in Logan. You beat UCLA. You beat SC. Keep it going. Valentine's Day is around the corner. If you're planning on taking that special someone out, that means you better make sure your vehicle is looking good. It's in tip-top shape. If your car needs a life-saving cleanup, then I suggest you reach out to my friends at On the Spot Automotive Detailing, because they go above and beyond to make sure your car looks and smells and feels like it's brand new. Remember the day you took it off the lot? Remember how fun it was to be in your car? You can have that. You're probably busy making arrangements, right? They'll make it easy for you. They will come to you so you don't leave the comfort of your home or your office. They've been awarded Best of the City because they are best of the city. Their detailing service is second to none. The convenience is beyond wonderful. You don't take your car anywhere. You don't leave it anywhere. You don't have to get a ride back or waste a couple hours sitting there. They come to you while you're in your office. You go outside, your vehicle looks, feels, and smells like the day you took it off the lot. It's a great gift as well. If you're looking for a Valentine's gift, like honestly, hey, this is really, really, I know it's not flowers, but her car is going to smell terrific. And it'll last a hell of a lot longer than flowers. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, it's all online. Book and buy right there at otsdetailing.com. otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView. ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no.
You can react to the Luka deal more and more as the details emerge. And Nico Harrison wanted to get rid of Luka, and it just. It's apparent that he was focused on AD. Like, that's what he wanted. He wanted Anthony Davis and really believes that dude, he's banking his whole career that Anthony Davis is going to be the key that they can win now with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson. And if you're going to tell me the reason they only got 1 first-round pick is because the Lakers said, well, I can't give you more, man. We can't get a hold of his agent. See if he's going to sign. Dude, then I'm holding off till tomorrow morning and get a hold of the agent and have that conversation. I want to hear it too. But by the way, you need to give me at least 2. And if he's going to sign, I want 4. Right? I mean, that's where this has to go, doesn't it?
Yep.
Feel for Klay. Because the rumors now are Kevin Durant may end up back at Golden State. So if there's Klay and Draymond and Steph getting that band back together, and by the way, that group, KD is still KD, dude.
KD's playing very well.
Kevin Durant is still playing basketball. The Suns might not be very good, but all of a sudden you put KD with assuming, I mean, I don't know what they're going to give up, how much of that core they're going to have to give up, but the whole intent is going to be to make another run with Steph. So they'll mortgage the future to get Kevin Durant back in there. And Luka, Klay was being courted by the Lakers, but went to Dallas to play with Luka. So all of a sudden, Luka's in LA and KD's back in Golden State, and he's back down in Dallas going, wait, what just happened? How the hell did this happen? You kind of got to feel a little bit for, oh, he's getting paid. He's getting paid. But that'd be some crazy. So if KD goes to the Warriors, JJ, I know what the standings tell me. But if everything resets, let's say the Lakers get a big man, okay? They may have to trade Austin Reeves this week for a big man. So they've got Luka, LeBron, and then that cast. Oklahoma City is what Oklahoma City is. I've got Nikola Jokic and that group hopefully rounding into form at some point and sitting 4th. Houston looks like Houston does. Memphis is interesting. I just don't find them to be a serious contender, but I mean, they're sitting number 2. Oklahoma City looks really nice. Dallas has Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson. If the Warriors get in, who do you like? Because the Western playoffs could be really, really fun.
Oklahoma City.
Still above all, but you just like what they've done.
They're not just because of the standings. They're the best team in the Western Conference.
And they would still be as those others would be constructed?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you like them in the playoffs still?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not
arguing.
questioning. Like, they went on the run last year. They have an MVP candidate. They have the role players in positions. You have your glue guys that you acquired in the offseason, Hartenstein inside, just classic big, and score inside, defend, rebound. Caruso, be a pest on the perimeter with Lou Dort and the Jalen's. Like, they're set to go. Like, I love what that, and that's even without Chet Holmgren being there with his hip injury.
And Holmgren, won't he be ready for the playoffs? Probably. All right. Who's the biggest then contender to them? Who's their biggest threat? If KD goes to the Warriors, let's play this game. Who would it be? I got a threesome with Kyrie, AD, Clay, and that group. I've got the Lakers with LeBron and Luka now.
I think there's challenges,
yeah.
But there's in recent memory, there's not a mid-season trade that then that team wins because of that. Like
because
even
of
if it's
big
Anthony
piece,
Davis or
right?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Now Kevin Durant's different because he's been there, done that. No, the AD one, yeah, it's Anthony Davis. There's still a lot to work with. That's an entirely different system you're running now. Dropping AD in there versus Luka and Kyrie. Now I would expect the Warriors to be someone that could immediately flip that switch because they've been there, done that with that team.
There's really a part of me that wants to see it. KD going back to Golden State is really good TV.
And in the playoffs too, the Timberwolves are going to be a problem.
Yep.
Because Anthony Davis
Denver's
is
going
that
to be
dude.
a problem. Nikola Jokic is that dude, isn't he?
And I trust the Grizzlies because John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., like those dudes aren't youngins anymore.
Yeah, I guess I need to see them do something before I trust them. I should. Do you trust the Clippers?
Desmond Bane, Marcus Smart, like they got the extra dudes you're looking for.
How are the Clippers still sitting in the 6th spot?
Quietly winning games.
Just quietly winning games. The West is so cool. The West is going to be great playoffs as we hit late March and early April.
How this has been a fascinating few days for the NBA because they're talking about style of play and too many threes, and people don't like these guys. There's no rivalries. People don't like each other. Like this trade might have saved the NBA, at least in terms of revenue. Viewership for the time being. People getting interested in it. Because I've talked to basketball people that have been out on the NBA this year, not interested, and then just Luka going to LA, and there's headlines that people want to talk about.
Yeah, and it's Super Bowl week, which is crazy. I mean, they're stealing headlines from the Super Bowl. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. I'll get those to you. Unfathomable how the trade came together. Everybody's got their stories on this whole thing. It's just so funny reading all the different outlets on how it came together and why it came out of nowhere and how it's just bonkers. And what Rob Pelinka did, the general manager of the Lakers. 246-0610. Kenny Thomas will be here at 9 o'clock on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We're all
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Fellas, everyone is better in February. Ask Iowa State. That's what Steve said on the text line. Yeah, most teams, and like JJ said, good teams get better. Bit of color that said, do you think New Mexico's better? Are the Lobos better now than they were back in November when they played Arizona State? Yeah, I think they are. Is Arizona State better? Maybe. This one's on Kobe. David says, when Kobe was 25, he'd already won 3 titles. Bad example, other than he had plenty of years of greatness still ahead. And the Lobos are much better now than they were back in November and December. Yeah, I think they are. JJ, I mean,
yes. Look at individual players. Phillip, True Washington.
Yeah. Seals playing better now, right? Players develop. You get better when you play. So I think that's all right. Omar says Cooper Kupp at Texas Stadium, Jeff. He's a Coach Jones kind of player. He wants Cooper Kupp to the Cowboys. I thought he was off the Cowboys bandwagon.
Can't quit.
I can't quit you. I just can't quit you. Yeah, I understand it. Would Cooper Kupp look good? Cooper Kupp would look good in a lot of uniforms, man. There's a lot of places he works well. I still think Cooper Kupp's good. I think he's really good. Is he $25 million good? Probably not. Where does he work? Tell me where he doesn't work. Cooper Kupp's tell me where a good receiver doesn't work. Adding a weapon like that, tell me where it doesn't work. You can't. It works everywhere. 505-246-0610. That's how to get here today. 888-922-0610. If for whatever reason you're still paying a toll, we'll pay it for you. Emails Jeff at sportsanimallabq.com and JJ at sportsanimallabq.com. Nelly Jr. Joseph named Mountain West Conference Player of the Week. Donovan Dent left off the 10 finalists for the Cousy Award for the best point guard in America. He was a finalist of a watch list, 50 players on the watch list for the Oscar Robertson Player of the Year Award, but not one of the best 10 point guards in America, which is criminal. It's just wrong. I'm not taking. You always got to say, who do you got to take off of that list? And I understand that, and we can have that conversation. Who do you take off? And the list is really good. I'm not telling you any of those guys aren't good. JJ, your point was there's one guy that's considered to be in the West on that list because they don't watch, and if they watch Gonzaga. Right? That's Ryan Nembhard. And Nembhard's really good. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you any of these guys aren't good. Ziegler's good, and Harper's good, and Braden Smith's good. I mean, they're all really good. Who do you take off? I don't know, man. Pick one. But there's got to be room for Donovan Dent on that list.
There just has to be. You look at total assists per game in the nation. He's 9th. What he does scoring the basketball, field goal percentage to record, like he is one of the 10 best point guards in America.
And if he played for one of these schools, and this is, it's a horrible argument to try to keep him here, right? But if he played at Marquette or Iowa State or Florida or Alabama or Tennessee or West Virginia, he'd probably be on that list, right? Because people would see him, the people who vote for it would see it. They're not watching games at 8:30 at night here, 11:30 at night on the East Coast. Are they going to watch New Mexico, Colorado State tomorrow night? They, meaning the people who vote on some of this stuff? It should be their obligation, shouldn't it? If you've got to vote and America runs 3 time zones wide, it should be your obligation. You know what? Get up at 10 o'clock in the morning, but go to bed at 2 in the morning. It should be your obligation to watch this. But you don't think anything exists west of Texas. You just don't. And that's the bummer of this whole thing. It just kind of, it just is a bummer. All right, 505-246-0610. Did you see the story about a guy named Pat Hoberg? Major League Baseball fired Pat Hoberg, who is an umpire, for shared betting accounts. There's part of me that loves. Part of me that loves this, a part of me that hates this. I hate that they can get so deep into what you're doing and who's betting on what. But I love that they can because they have to. Does that make sense? With the prevalence of betting and legalized betting,
yes,
they have to. I guess there was a big appeals process on this, but Monday, Major League Baseball fired this umpire, Pat Hoberg, for sharing legal sports betting accounts with a friend who bet on baseball, and for intentionally deleting messages which were key to the investigation into his conduct. So baseball said that this guy, quote, adamantly denied betting on baseball directly or indirectly, end quote. Rob Manfred, the commissioner, said there was no evidence that Hoberg directly bet on games or that he manipulated the outcomes of any games in any way. So why'd they fire him? In their statement, Major League Baseball said it fired Hoberg for failing to uphold the integrity of the game, and that he should have known that his friend, who is a professional poker player, had bet on baseball from the shared account. 38 years old, by every regard, a good umpire. He's classified as one of the best ball strike umpires in baseball. He can apply for reinstatement no earlier than the start of spring training in 2026. He said, quote, I take full responsibility for errors in judgment that are outlined in today's statement. Those errors will always be a source of shame and embarrassment to me. Major League Baseball umpires are held to a high standard of personal conduct, and my own conduct fell short of that standard. That said, to be clear, I have never and would never bet on baseball in any way, shape, or form. I never provided and would never provide information to anyone for the purpose of betting on baseball. Blah, blah. Dude, who has shared accounts with their buddies? Like, do you have a shared, like, if you bet, would you have a shared account with is there a buddy that's close enough that you'd say, hey, let's just share this
No.
account and bet? Does that seem weird to you?
Yes.
I mean, I'm close with a lot of people. I don't know that, you wouldn't even have one with your, maybe you would with your wife. No, honestly.
She might actually be better than me at it. But.
Fair enough. But I mean, all right, let's go on, pick your betting site. Let's go on FanDuel. Hey, let's share a site, you and me. Who does that? Why do that?
Because it's something you probably shouldn't be doing.
You want to get caught? Look, man, if there's a potential optic that your game is compromised, they are going to err on the side of our game is compromised, and we're going to be hard on you. And they have to. And this 38-year-old man, whether he did it or not, bummer, man. Bummer. But it's just the way it is. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Hey, I want you to know what's going on over at Twin Peaks, because there's so much yummy and so much good stuff going on over there. You can step up your lunch game. Twin Peaks has light yet hearty combos put together for you for lunch starting at $7.99. It's got savory soups, crisp salads, a variety of sandwiches to satisfy your every craving. So enjoy your next lunch break on them. And no one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they've got everything from tequila cocktails, an extensive bourbon category, to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey, cocktails round out that adventurous drink menu. It's second to none. And don't forget about their 29-degree draft. So what do they got going on this week? Look, they got UFC 312 on February 8th. You can go over there and catch the epic rematch that's going on between Duplessis and Strickland. No cover. UFC branded hat giveaways at Twin Peaks, plus score buckets of Bud Light and bites for your entire corner, starting at just $13 all day on Saturdays. Bourbon and Brews Fridays this month, 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. They're honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at Bourbon and Brews Party. So get over to Twin Peaks from 5 to 7. Experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers from your good friends over at Twin Peaks.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle.
At AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Darv, thanks for holding here on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
Buenos dias, gentlemen. Been too long.
Yeah,
Too long.
Good to hear you. How you living?
You know, I'm living upright. I'm breathing. I'm walking. That's a blessing. And the Lobos look great. I'm excited about that. I mean, that second half. I mean, Coach must have said something in the locker room the other night because they were just they came out defensively. And who'd have thought Amzio would end up being as good of a scorer as he is? I mean, the guy's just he's a great player. So I'm excited. I mean, they look really good. But when it comes to basketball, we all know the big story. Cope. Luka's in purple and gold. The Lakers made it happen. Maybe the league made it happen.
Is that what you think?
We don't know.
LA needed a next star, and it was going to be Luka, and so get him to LA.
Maybe it's not 100% true, but there's some truth to it. Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah.
I've been being a Lakers fan since I was born. The Lakers have gone through some droughts. It's pretty rare. But when Magic Johnson retired, which was a shock to the league and to the system, and they weren't great until Shaq and Kobe. And when Shaq and Kobe came along, what did you hear? Oh, I used to like the Lakers when Magic was there. But these Shaq and Kobe guys rubbed me the wrong way. I gave up on the Lakers. Then when Shaq is traded, Kobe retires. What do you hear? Oh man, they were bad. And then LeBron comes. Oh, I'll start following the Lakers again when LeBron leaves. I don't like LeBron.
That's common. Yeah.
It's common.
Yeah.
Stay away. Don't come back now.
You can come back now.
Cope.
You can come back now. It's okay to come back.
Don't come back now.
Wait till LeBron leaves? Can you wait till LeBron leaves?
Don't come back because you like Luka now when you said, oh, I don't like that Shaq and Kobe. Lakers aren't my team anymore. I don't like that LeBron Lakers. You know exactly what I mean. That's my take.
Appreciate
Adios.
you, man. Good to see you. I think there'll be a lot of them coming back. Oh, Robert's gone. Just going to Robert. I think, JJ, a lot of Laker fans, and I know a bunch of them, who were Laker fans through all those years that couldn't get on board with LeBron are just waiting. And I keep hearing, man, maybe they could trade LeBron and I can come back to the Lakers now with Luka.
They're not trading LeBron James.
They're not trading LeBron James.
Just wait it out a couple of years and then you can be a Laker fan.
How long does he stay? 3 more?
2, 3.
I mean, if Kelsey's at 35, LeBron's at 40, both their games are pretty good. They're both saying, I want to play. I think LeBron's going to realize whether he was tight or not with AD or was just a clutch thing, and I think they were tight. I don't know the relationship. I think he's going to realize, holy bleep, I'm playing with Luka Doncic now. Now, how's he going to respond for the first time in his career, probably in his life, not being the best player on the team? Right? As good as LeBron is right now, on the backside
So is LeBron better than Anthony Davis?
On the majority of nights, yeah. You don't think so? Okay, if we're having the conversation, then it might be. Like if you're like maybe, then it might be, right? But I think, do we agree when they're both at their best right now, Luka going into his prime?
25-year-old Luka. Now, where LeBron still has him is conditioning and defense. Like, LeBron can turn it up and
100%.
actually defend somebody.
Yeah, 100%.
At 40 years old.
Yeah.
Which, if you're the Lakers, however you feel outside of that organization about LeBron James, like, this is a moment for Luka. Like, you said it yesterday, and I do believe that both these players, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, are going to have a chip on their shoulder. But if you're Luka, you look at LeBron James and go, oh, okay. This is what it takes.
That's what
It's easy to hear it, but to live it every single day could be a game changer.
Look, whether you like that dude or not, it's what a champion looks like. A 4-time champion, right? I mean, and at 25 years old, can you change your habits? I think you need to change your mindset. And again, I'm not going to pretend I know Luka Doncic. If, in fact, they gave up on this dude because he wouldn't get in shape. Now, look, I heard a story yesterday that Luka got so upset with all the changes that everybody that he got close to in that building, everybody that he liked with the organization, with the new ownership and the new management, they got rid of all of his people. And that's why he went out and had to hire his own trainer and his own nutritionist and his own medical staff. Pick whatever side you want. I don't care. But at some point, you've got to get it in your mind, okay, that's what I've got to do. At some point, your physical or your God-gifted gift, or God-gifted gifts, your God-given gifts can get you to a certain level, right? He's got unbelievable talent. I don't know how hard he works. I'm going to guess he works pretty hard. I know what he looks like. So is he a little doughy? I don't care, man. Give me a little doughy Luka Doncic over a chiseled, half of these guys, almost all these guys in the NBA were chiseled, right? Now.
I like that. Doughy Doncic.
Is he a little? I'm fine.
Doughy Doncic.
Give me a little Doughy Doncic.
Let's go.
Because Doughy Doncic is a winner. Pretty good. But now if you give me a in shape.
What would you like? I'll take the Doughy Doncic.
It's the opening drive. Kenny Thomas kicking it with Kenny next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Now, Hoops almost trying to steal the spotlight from Super Week, and they're doing a decent job, at least early in the week. But 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, will be live at the Super Bowl in New Orleans all week on Radio Row. Listen every afternoon, 2 men on for all the action. Fred and Van are there. It's presented by Cornish Law Injury Lawyers, serving New Mexico for 5 generations, and airport parking safe, secure, and the best price to park at the Sunport. Talk some Lobo Hoops, kicking it with Kenny. Text line says, Steve from Michigan says, next time Kenny is late, regardless of his reason, he owes you lunch. Dude, we'll be eating for like life. We're not going to be able to fit in enough lunches if that's the way that is. I mean, Kenny will stroll in. I mean, I'm assuming whenever Kenny strolls in, and we'll kick it with Kenny. Is the Lobos play Colorado State tomorrow? Lady Lobos tonight, JJ. Here it is. Oh, there he is. So that's considered late. It says here on the text line, next time Kenny is late, regardless of the reason, he owes you lunch. I mean, I don't know if we can get enough. JJ, big one tonight. Lady Lobos at Colorado State at the Pit, 8:30. Kind of got a win game for them.
Kind of got a win game.
Yeah, and they got to break a 3-game losing streak. All right, let's kick it with Kenny Thomas. What's up, Kenny Thomas? How you living?
Hey, man. Hey.
You all right?
It's not on.
You all right?
I'm not on.
You can't hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, you're on.
There we go.
You're on.
Hey, hey, let me tell you something, man.
Tell me something, man.
Good morning, my guys. That's what I want to tell you. Good morning, my guys. And to that texter that just sent that, if they listen to the show on Fridays, you would know I bring them breakfast sometimes.
He does sometimes, twice.
Sorry, you guys. The elevator man.
Oh, the elevator man.
Hey, you know the one is broken.
Yeah, I know. So there's only 2.
Yeah.
I know. Can we start here? I don't know if you heard about this. Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers and Anthony Davis went to that.
Oh, that is dumb. Hey,
right.
I love your Travis Matthews
Thanks, man.
jacket, bro.
All right, so you found it out. Everybody's like, I thought it was a joke. How'd you find out about the trade?
Me and Brandon were doing the show.
Oh, yeah.
The last Lobo game. Yeah. Brandon's like, I'm getting these text messages. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm actually talking to to the fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't be doing all that. But you had a great show. And thank you for all the love you gave me like 2 or 3 times when you did the postgame show with Hunter. But my guy Jeff does a great job when he does play-by-play, man. I got to give you that love first. But unbelievable. Do you really think Mark Cuban did not know?
Yeah, so I don't. At first, we were sitting there thinking, all right, LeBron had to bless this, which is crazy. Mark Cuban had to know, and it sounds like they both didn't. We got off the air, tipped it to you. I shut down and walked up the ramp, and we were going to the bus.
Yeah.
And stopped in to use the facilities in the locker room, and everybody's like, "Did you hear Luka got traded for AD?" And I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?"
Yeah.
And so as the bus was heading down, you could hear the guys in the back, "Yeah, man, but there's only one ball." Like everybody had the same conversation. The bus was buzzing, right?
Yeah. Man, think about I know you did. I know you probably did too, JJ. If you heard Charles Barkley, Charles brought up some good points, and the big one is that I played with Charles Barkley my rookie year, just to throw that out there, for like 4 games, and then he tore his knee, and I never saw him again until the summers. But Charles brought up a good point. Like, Charles doesn't have a ring, and Luka's been there for a minute, and he hasn't had and there's no ring, right? But there's always something that's behind the scenes that we obviously don't know about. The fact that LeBron didn't know, I think that's crap. The fact that Mark Cuban, my guy, didn't know.
Well, but Mark Cuban's not in charge anymore.
But he's still majority owner.
Is he minority owner now?
He's a minority
owner, yeah.
But still, though, man, I don't think, Mark Cuban didn't know. But it's going to be interesting because I feel like the Dallas GM, it's one of those things that happened in Toronto, right? With the whole situation of making that big trade for Kawhi. And then what happened? They ended up winning a championship, right? So,
all right. So would it be worth it? And this is what people say, JJ, this is really interesting. And I don't think Dallas is going to win this year.
No.
I mean, but they got Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Lively. But if they let's say they win one, is it worth it to get rid of a generational star, 25 years old, and I don't mortgage your future? Is not being competitive for, let's say, 5 years after that, is it worth it?
You're asking me? Or
I'm asking both of you guys if they win one championship.
Go ahead, bud.
That's the ultimate ace. You make this trade to win a championship, then yes.
It's like the
That's
Rams.
the only thing that saves the general manager.
Like when the Rams got Stafford, right? They got one championship.
Yeah.
Is it worth
it? That's a call you got to make because
I'm asking you.
It's one of those things that could be career ending, and you're asking me. I mean, obviously, right? People are not gonna like me, but because I know this is a big Laker town. Magic Johnson's my mentor, right? So, Luka, man, there's only one ball. When you think about it, there's only one ball in LA.
That's what I heard.
LeBron isn't. He turns 41 in December, right? December 31st or something like that, right? I just saw it. And is he really that guy to where consistency having to come out and put up the numbers? Stephen A. Smith brought up a good point. He shouldn't have to do that anymore. I feel like adding Luka is going to be huge. But how are they going to get everybody involved?
All right, so
Luka's not that guy.
No.
Kyrie is.
All right, so first of all, he shouldn't.
How many times have we said that? There's only one basketball.
Yeah, we say that all the time, and it always seems to work, right? Guys are figure it out.
Who's going to take the big shot?
LeBron will pass it to Luka.
That's what I'm saying. That's gonna be interesting to see how that
he
whole
passed it
dynamic
to Kyrie,
works.
just like he passed it to Ray Allen, just like he passed it to Dwayne Wade.
And then when you think about AD, right? He's not that go-to guy, and he wasn't the guy that Luka can be that AD should have been. But Kyrie is. And you got Klay Thompson over there. He could be a great role player. He's not going to be the main guy.
Klay Thompson is going, wait a minute, I could have gone to the Lakers, but I wanted to play with Luka, but now he's in the Lakers, and I left Golden State and KD manned up there, and what the hell am I doing? Let me go back to this for a second, because I don't think this is about there's one basketball. It might be, even though I don't think that for this year and maybe next year. I think this is about way more than this.
Yeah.
It goes back to what you said. Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Luka.
Yeah.
Generational stars for that franchise is box office.
That's
Anthony Davis is not box office. No. And at 40, 41 years old, LeBron's got a couple of years left, maybe. And so what is the next iteration of the Lakers? And there's always been a lull, right? When Shaq left, they went down until Kobe got Pau Gasol. When Magic left, they dropped for a while. This time they're saying, I don't want to drop. And Luka's the next box office.
Yeah, this league is more guard play. It's more backcourt play. It's more deep threes. And then bigs want to go out there and do the same thing. When you have a guy like, I can't believe I'm about to say this again. When you have a team like JJ's Nuggets, it's when you have a guy you can go inside to and establish that inside presence, it takes so much pressure off of Murray in Denver, who isn't playing that good, right? But at the same time, they have one or two other guys that can step up in Denver.
Who won the trade?
Dallas.
See, and I think the Lakers did because they only gave up the one pick. They got a generational player. You think Dallas won?
I think Dallas because AD isn't the go-to guy, but AD can be that second or third guy. And then when you add pressure from what you've seen in LA, AD's not the go-to guy in LA, right? And AD's a great player. But I think Kyrie is going to open up so much other stuff. And then you got to think about Likely, man. That young fella's good. So I feel like AD's going to be able to play the position that he wants to play anyway, which is the four. Yeah. He wants to shoot threes. He wants to do that mid-range and put the ball on the floor. So the Lakers are going to be better this year, obviously, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Mavericks end up working out.
What do you think?
Who won the trade? Or?
Yeah, what do you think of what he said? I know you think the Lakers won the trade like I do.
Well, I think the Mavericks are going to be good. I think AD is going to fit in with everything that Kenny broke down. He's right about the style of play. I don't think it's going to click this year, but I think next season you can talk about them as being able to make a run in the Western Conference. But when you trade a player like Luka Doncic and you just get Anthony Davis back, like that's malpractice, man.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that. So I feel like long term, the Mavs might be better. Right now, I feel like the Lakers are a better team. But when I say one ball, I mean, who's going to be the guy that takes the shots down the stretch? There's always one big guy that takes it.
The West is going to be fun. And if KD ends up back with the Warriors and Jimmy Butler's still floating, and does he end up with the Suns and Oklahoma City, nobody's talking about, and all they are is the best team in basketball right now. So
the Rockets, man.
And the Rockets. All right, when we come back, Kenny's here. We want to talk about your thoughts. The Lobos winning in Logan by 19, outscoring Utah State by 25. Some of the awards that have come out. We're kicking it with Kenny, former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran. Kenny Thomas is in studio on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
95.9 FM.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
With JJ Buck, I'm merely Jeff Symbieta. Thanks for being with us on the opening drive. Lobos and Colorado State tomorrow night. Ladies play tonight. Men play tomorrow. Kenny, look, I was in the building. It was bonkers the other night. Lobos are down 36-30 at halftime. Nelly Jr. Joseph is in foul trouble. Donovan Dent, I think, had 6 points. They outscore Utah State 52-27 in the second half, 43-15 down the stretch. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the biggest win ever. It's a big win on the road. They didn't win a championship that night. All I know is that's a damn impressive win on the road and the way they finished.
I mean, isn't it ironic how they go into that game net 51 and you have Utah net 30.
Yeah, they were 32 or something at that point, yeah.
And then now, today it's flipped. Now you got the Lobos 32, I think.
I'll find it for you.
And then I called it to where I thought they would be around 30. But it's amazing how you can go down there and win by 19 and you're still not getting the recognition that you should get. And I'm being very honest.
What should they get?
I think that they should have been in the top 30, a couple spots.
Lobos
right?
are 46 net, Utah State.
A net
38.
is a computer ranking, though. It's not anything like personal.
46 and 38.
So it's not a matter of personal. It's a matter of the conference not getting the recognition is all I'm trying to say, basically. Right?
But the numbers, the conference isn't as good as it was last year.
And I'm not disagreeing. I feel like the conference. No, I feel like the conference is better because you got some teams that are beating some pretty good teams, or they're hanging in there. Think about Air Force with San Diego State, and it was close down.
Yeah, but I just don't think San Diego State's is good. My eyes tell me that.
Now you're saying that. Before you weren't saying that.
No, that's right.
San Diego State.
When they beat Houston and when they beat Houston and Creighton and hung with Gonzaga, you're right. I didn't say that early. Watch now. The progress of Nelly
Yeah.
And JJ and I were talking about this earlier. I think his progress, JJ is right. He was really good defensively last year. I think he's terrific defensively. Maybe JT not being there has opened him up offensively. He's the best big guy in this league.
Yeah, without a doubt. The way that he's been consistent, and when I say consistent, before the last couple games, he's averaging like 14 and like 9 or something like
Double.
that.
No, he's averaging a double last bunch.
I wasn't sure, but that's even better, right? Yeah. But I feel like when they come out and they're establishing an inside presence, I don't care if it's Amzil, but it hasn't been Amzil of late, right? It's been Nelly. But I feel like there's been a lot of different changes when it comes down to transition action. Nelly's opening himself up because I feel like he's setting transition screens to where he's getting involved, to where it's not just allowing him to, hey, Nelly, you have to go inside and be productive from that perspective and posting up. So I feel like he's changing it up, and there's a variety of different things that he's doing, but he's really, really crashing the boards, which if Nelly comes out and has like 15, 20 boards a game and scores 10 points, I'm cool with that.
Kenny Thomas is in studio. We're kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
How do you feel about the balance you saw from the team on Saturday night?
The balance is great because I felt like they came out, they shared the ball. The first half was a little slow, but the second half they came out and it seemed like they came out with a little bit of more energy. The flow with Dent, obviously scoring changes the whole dynamic, right? But you got to keep in mind, teams are going to start to double him, and he's going to have to sometimes dribble out of double teams to where he's going to have to force it because he's that guy. But I see Dent being like me. He's a guy that plays within the flow of the game, and he doesn't want to be selfish, but he has to be selfish a little bit more, I think.
Saw this stat, JJ put it on here today, and even Kenny Thomas didn't do this. So since 1986-87, it's the first year the NCAA differentiated offensive and defensive rebounds. 4 Lobos, only 4, have had double-digit defensive rebounds. 3 consecutive games. Nelly, Morris Udeze, Drew Gordon, and Louis Lamar.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, dude's balling at a level.
That's awesome.
Right. How about Donnie being left off that list for the Cousy Award? Look, man, we watch him every day. I'm trying so hard not to be a homer. I'm not sure you can convince me there's 10 better point guards in America than Donovan Dent.
He's up there. Obviously, he's in the process of being Player of the Year in the conference. That's he's running away with that right now.
I think so.
But he also just did get the Oscar Robertson Award.
Well, he's on the watch list. There's 50 on the watch list for that. There's 10 on the finalists for the Cousy Award.
Okay, so I actually tagged him. I was like, congratulations. So I obviously missed all that. But do national awards count?
What do you mean?
I mean, they feel good to be able to get the recognition, right? But I feel like he's getting seen in the recognition based off of his play.
So I would argue, and JJ, awards are great when you win them, right? And when you don't, okay, cool. But I'll fight for him. He might not fight. Like, there's no way.
You asked on that list, right? Like, who you taking on?
Yeah.
The Rutgers guard, Dylan Harper.
I that was the first place I was going to go.
Like, your draft stock doesn't make you one of the best point guards.
Well, I would argue. Look,
that's fair.
I think Cam Jones at Marquette is really good.
He is good.
I think Javon Small is really good. But give me some Donovan Dent.
See, he's there though. He's there,
but he's not on the list. He didn't make the final 10.
Yeah, but see, if there were times I wasn't on the list.
It's recognition out here, man. It's like JJ said. There's one guy west of Texas. It's the Gonzaga guy. Whoever's doing these damn lists, they don't stay up and watch. You're going to start at 8:30 tomorrow night, 11:30 on the East Coast, and those guys are going to be tucked, drooling on their damn pillows. And I think if you have a position where you vote for these awards, I don't care if it's a Cousy, the Naismith, any of these awards, you have an obligation to stay up to 2 a.m. and watch the damn games.
Yeah. I mean, you could sit up here and talk about the people that are actually the ones that are voting for these awards, but come on, man, let's keep it 100. I'm about to keep it real. Who's voting is those scouts that's watching.
Is that who's voting?
Yeah, it's about getting to the NBA.
But what really matters is what you're saying.
Man, there's a lot of good players in this country, man.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I mean? And hey, hey, an award's an award. But at the same time, it's about getting to that NBA and establishing yourself and trying to make some money.
I mean, that's fair.
Trust me. Donnie is his mindset should be trying to get to the NBA. Nelly's mindset is trying to get to the NBA. So what do? You got to continue to just ball out, man.
Are they NBA players?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Does Donnie need another year? Or does he go this year?
I think he needs another year. I stayed all 4 years. I felt like
different era.
People felt like I could have came out my freshman year, but I wasn't ready, right? So he needs to stay in school, work on that J from the perimeter.
Tell you what, his mid-range game's got a lot better.
His mid-range is golden.
Yep.
It's golden. When he starts coming downhill, oh my goodness.
But at the same time, away where he stops and drifts back a little bit is really nice.
He pushes off that front foot, which is so nice. They help him fade away to create that space. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think that, Donovan Dent, the only question I think is, can he be feisty defensively? But, what do you think, second round? Right now, and then, of course, could grow. Because I don't know if he came out this year if he'd get drafted.
Yeah, size is a big difference, man. And being able to establish yourself and set yourself aside, I have to agree with you on the defensive side. And especially shooting the ball. I mean, he's going to have to shoot the ball better from the perimeter.
All right, let's wrap this up. Trade deadline's Thursday. Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant, are they going to get moved?
Jimmy Butler's not going anywhere.
Really?
Jimmy Butler's not going anywhere.
Because he only wants to go to Phoenix.
See, it's the way he handled that situation, I think. And Booker not getting into the All-Star game, and a lot of other guys getting snugged, not getting in the All-Star weekend. I mean, All-Star game is crazy. But, man, you got to throw this out there. De'Aaron Fox getting traded to San Antonio from Sacramento.
I thought of you when that happened. All right, hit me with that, because him and Wemby are going to be good for a long time.
And you got CP3 over there, and you got some other two guys that's like at the 3 and the 4 that's really young and really good. And Pop, Pop is still there. He's gonna work his magic with De'Aaron Fox. And if you don't know this, De'Aaron Fox is from Houston, so he was trying to get back to Texas anyway.
What does that mean for Sacramento with Zach LaVine going there?
Zach LaVine and you got the other guy that's there. Oh my goodness, drawing a blank. That's the 3. They played together with the Bulls. It's his first year there. But I think Doug Christie's going to do a pretty good job. It's going to be interesting to see how the whole Sacramento thing unfolds. But getting rid of Mike Brown, man, I think that was a huge mistake. DeRozan. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan. It's going to be interesting between LaVine and DeRozan how that's going to work, because I feel like that didn't work in Chicago.
All right, listen to Kenny tomorrow night over on News Radio KKOB after the Lobo game. Lobo's in Colorado State tomorrow night, 8:30 start. And after the post-game show, it's Lobo Live with Kenny Thomas. He'll be with Brandon Ortega. You take your phone calls after Lobos and Colorado State tomorrow night from the pit. Always good to see you.
Are you kidding me? Do a good job again, my man.
Like I tell people,
tomorrow,
I'll try not to screw it up tomorrow.
I won't be able to hear you, but I'll be over there waving at you. I'll be at the game.
You can put your little earbuds in. Try not to screw it up.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, have a good rest of the week. We'll see you on Friday.
Yes, sir.
He is Kenny Thomas. The opening drive continues. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You're listening to
We aren't told.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor.
This season, he sent that to us at 505-246-0610. Kenny is on the Jackie Moon Top Retro Team watch list. I don't even know what that means. Who's Jackie Moon? Why don't I know
Jackie Moon?
Yeah.
Flint Tropics.
Oh, okay.
Semi-pro.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I totally missed that. Yeah. Fair enough. He probably is. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Nico Harrison, who's the general manager of the Dallas Mavericks. It says, Nico Harrison has been on point since he took the helm in Dallas. I say he, Dallas, knows something we don't know. Box office sells tickets, but doesn't win championships. Nico doesn't want to fail. He has staked his whole career on that move. Dallas wins the trade. It's from Mike. Box office doesn't win championships. It sells tickets. It can do both. Ask Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. Box office doesn't win championships. It kind of does. Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, Michael. And those were box office. They won championships. Now, did they win championships because they're box office? In some respects, maybe.
Yeah. I know what they didn't win, but did people forget that the Mavericks were in the NBA Finals last year?
Yeah. With Luka Doncic.
With Dowie Doncic.
Yeah.
They got to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Of course, did the Mavericks know something? Yes, but that doesn't mean you trade him for one pick and one player.
What do they know? What don't they know? I mean, it could be just Nico Harrison. It's not my guy. New people come in and they bring their guys. It's not my guy. 505-246-0610. Edward, thought you might have an opinion on this. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. I sent you a diatribe via text, our group text message, probably an hour after this occurred. When you've lived long enough and you're chronologically advanced like I am, you see things with a different lens. And Jeff, this goes back to you and I watching the NBA Finals on tape delay back in the 1970s and early 80s. The league's always going to make moves for the best viability of the league. They're going to for the financial viability of the league. It's not a conspiracy theory. Every league's registered as an entertainment entity. So I'm going to briefly walk you through a succinct history lesson. The great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks in 1971 with Oscar Robertson. The league was fledgling, and he ended up to the Lakers in 1975. So it's not unprecedented that people move, right? I get that.
That's right.
So then we knew the amazing run with Magic. Then the Lakers struggled for about 7 or 8 years until Charlotte Hornets drafted Kobe. And Shaq, who played for the Orlando Magic, who's owned by Rich DeVos, who owned Amway, who could have bought Jerry Buss over 17 times.
Mm-hmm.
But the league needed a bump, so Shaq ends up in L.A., which is, the league needs the Lakers to be viable. I get that. Then post the Kobe-Shaq era, when Shaq jettisoned and Kobe was still a dynamic player, for about 4 or 5 years, they couldn't get either to the playoffs or they were bounced in the first round, getting swept or beat by the Phoenix Suns. So at that point, Jerry West was the GM, the great Laker Jerry West, the logo, was the GM of the Memphis Grizzlies. And they traded Paul Gasol for Andrew Bynum because the Lakers were fledgling. They were struggling. So then they win their 2 championships. And then this isn't a knock on Kobe. His last 5 years as a Laker, the Lakers had the cumulatively worst record in the league over that time span. The worst record in the league.
Yeah, they were struggling. They had nothing around him either.
Yeah, there was nothing there. It's not an indictment on Kobe. It's just, it is what it was.
Yeah.
It was what it was.
There's nothing there.
So then you enter, and I told my son and all my friends, LeBron's going to be a Laker. And I actually thought then they win a championship, get to the finals, and he's at the tail end of his career. And I told my friends, I thought it was actually going to be the Greek Freak. I thought they were going to trade the Greek Freak too, but Greek Freak, I think, is on the second half of his career. So enter in another young dynamic player.
Luka.
So it shouldn't surprise anybody. And we could rationalize and, think, well, why did this happen? What was the logic behind it? It's based on the long-term financial viability.
So you think the
of
league,
the league.
So the league somehow choreographed this, is what you're telling me, right?
I'm not saying it's 100%. I'm saying there's influence, and owners are smart businessmen, and they will do what's best for the viability of the league. Speaking of viability and ratings and the popularity, Super Bowl tickets have dropped 30%.
35%.
35%. So that doesn't mean we're not going to see a great game. We kind of know what's going to happen already, but it's always the ultimate decision-making power. And that's why you're seeing the league trying to make changes. That's why there was more trades in the NBA. They're talking about going to 10-minute quarters because ratings are abysmal, and a lot of times it's an unwatchable product for a lot of people.
I'm going to guess
they have to do something.
The playoff ratings go up in the NBA this year.
Sure.
I'm going to guess. JJ, you know why? Especially in the West, because what we're going to see out West is going to be, and I say out West because that's what they say, and I hate that. But if in fact you get this KD trade, and what I mean, please give me Mavericks Lakers in the first round, or in the second round. Like let's see that. Give me Suns and Warriors if that happens in a play-in game, right? The ratings are going to jump because I think the storylines are going to be really good.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me kind of walk us down, and I'm not even trying to be right, and maybe I'm not right entirely.
I'm sure you're trying to be right,
but you see it with a different lens, and it's not hard to figure out. Once you remove your fandom and your emotion, then you kind of see what's going on. So,
all right, man.
Gentlemen, enjoy February 4th, 2025 in the year of our Lord. Have a great day.
Do you buy into it that the league somehow wanted the Lakers to have a new star? And it happens. The Lakers always get that star. They do. And they got their next generational star. We're all assuming that Luka's going to sign after 2026 there. And I'm assuming that too.
I don't want to pull the wool over my eyes, but it would be hard, even if they knew ownership group in Dallas. By the way, Mark Cuban only has a 27% share of that team now. So he can't go in there and be like, don't make this move.
That's right.
Like he ain't that dude anymore. That a new ownership group in Dallas would be like, well, this lead needs Luka in LA, so we're going to trade him there because that's just what's best for the league.
And Dallas says, yeah, you're right. Yeah, all right. We'll get fleeced. And so, but Kenny sits here and he believes Dallas won the trade. That dude that just texted believes Dallas won the trade. So the fact that you've got some people on that side of this thinking what Nico Harrison says, and Nico Harrison believes he won the trade, the GM there. I mean, I've got you telling me it's the worst trade ever.
when you have one of the most valuable assets in basketball right now, you can think he's out of shape, whatever. You can get so much more for him. That is doing a disservice to your franchise to be like, well, maybe in 3 years we can win a championship because we have AD and Kyrie. Versus the assets you could get to get more players to your team or something for the long term.
So if he'd have gotten one more first round pick, would you have felt better about it?
This is like
Two
you
more?
need like a haul. Like you need 4 or 5, you need multiple players. Like this is
because that mark has been kind of set, right? I mean, the Mikal Bridges.
like when you look at some of the guys in the
Rudy
off
Gobert.
season that have moved.
Yeah.
Like you got 4 first round picks
Yeah.
for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And I get Anthony Davis is very valuable, but this is talking about an asset that is worth more than anything, and you got less.
Tier me players in this league. If you're going to tell me the top tier is whatever, and you don't have to give me every player.
Well, the superstar tier
is
Giannis, Nikola Jokic. What are we looking at these days?
I mean, you put Anthony Edwards, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander on that shelf, and they went
SGA,
down.
kind of like right there.
All right,
Then you have to be really good players. Anthony Davis is a tier 2 player. Luka is.
All right, where's
on
Anthony
the board.
Davis and Luka Doncic?
They're not in the same tier.
Luka's above him.
Yes.
Okay.
Like straight basketball. This is one where there's 2 different conversations. Straight basketball, you could talk yourself into, the Mavs are better because they have an inside-out presence now. What Anthony Davis brings them defensively, yes, but this is so much more than that when you have an asset that you traded for just that.
This is my whole argument. It's so hard to convince me they're better when you're saying I'm taking one of the best players in the world off of that roster, and somehow you're better. I'm taking one of the best players in the world, fair, off of the roster, and somehow you're going to argue we're better. Well, you didn't have an inside presence. But that inside presence thinks he's a 4.
Like Anthony Davis is really good.
Yes.
Luka Doncic also led the NBA in scoring last year while getting 9 rebounds, while getting 9.8 assists, getting to the NBA Finals.
All truth.
Like that is the different level from just Anthony Davis, who's really good. You want him as number 2.
Crazy. Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison, I mean, they're like a relationship that dates back 22 years. They were both tied to Kobe. They were buddies. They have a relationship. But boy, it feels like one kind of got the other. All right, 505-246-0610. One more segment. You can still get in. We'll wrap it up. Everything you got to know as you go through your, what day is today? Tuesday. We'll do that. You can get into Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. I want to tell you about International Protective Service, IPS, that you see every day, whether it's in your neighborhood or at the store. IPS is affordable private security who I have trusted for years to watch my home. My neighbors trust them as well. They keep the bad guys away because property crime is on the rise. The officer shortage continues to be an issue. And when it's you, when it's your house, when it's your home, you need a quick response. And it's typically 7 minutes or less when an alarm goes off with a home that is protected by IPS. They have officers strategically placed all around town. They respond quickly. They provide camera systems, alarms. They monitor all that 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home. Do yourself a favor. Don't wait to be a victim. Call IPS. Be proactive on this one. Don't be too late. See what they can do for you. Their number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're on IPSglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
This is Boomer Esiason with Sportsman Ed, sponsored by Tax Slayer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured.
Taking you home on a Tuesday morning where we get Lobo basketball tonight. Ladies at home. 8:30 tip, 8 o'clock pregame right here on The Sports Animal. J.J. Buck, the voice of the Lobos, will have the call. New Mexico and Colorado State right here on The Sports Animal. Of course, 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animals, your exclusive home for Super Bowl 59. Coverage begins Sunday at 8 in the morning with Tailgate Talk. Then Westwood One's coverage will lead you up to kickoff. Super Bowl 59 kicks off right around 4:30. Chiefs and the Eagles exclusively on The Sports Animal. Don't forget Van and Fred are there. 2 Men On will have their show from Radio Row all week long. It's brought to you by Cornish Law Injury Lawyers, serving New Mexico for 5 generations, and airport parking safe, secure, and the best price to park at the airport. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. What do you need to know as you go through your day? Trade deadlines bubbling in the NBA. There's rumors out there of Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant, and even, look, man, I don't know if there's not a name on the line. I'm seeing Middleton's name. I'm seeing Kuzma, Jimmy Butler, Brandon Ingram, Kevin Durant, LeBron James.
Not going anywhere.
I don't think so. Do you buy into the Durant back to Golden State? Because
yes.
I do.
Because they've been hunting. And they've been vocal about it. And they know that window of what KD could bring them matches up with what Steph would have left.
Yeah, I really do buy into that. And then all of a sudden I look at them and say, okay, I think that's a legitimate contender. Because I think Kevin Durant's playing great basketball. I think there's something left there. Now they're not even.
I think it would put them in the mix, but I don't think that jumps because this is different, man. They don't have the Andre Iguodala or Sean Livingston, and Draymond's not the same Draymond.
Hardly. Yeah. By the way, Super Bowl tickets dropped 35%.
Let's go.
You can get in for $3,200-$3,300.
What a steal!
I'm looking at just StubHub up in the 600 section upstairs. You can get 2 tickets for $3,300 a piece. If you want to go. This looks like at about the 10-yard line. This is $3,600. Here's one. Just kind of on the back end upstairs, Superdome, $3,200 a ticket. It's a steal, JJ. Now, if you want to sit down low, look at there's tickets. About the 15-yard line, section 112 for only $6,900. You want to pay your mortgage for the next year? You want to go to Super Bowl? Whatever you want to do, pick it up. All right, big one for the ladies tonight. What do you got out there against Colorado State? It's they've lost 3 in a row. They're losing at home. This is you're playing for seeding in the tournament.
You're right. It's kind of got to win game territory. You've lost 3 in a row, plus you've lost the last 3 games at home, and New Mexico 6-4. You win this, you would get a sweep over Colorado State. Then both those teams would be 7-4, so you'd have the edge there. You've beat Wyoming, who's in second place at 7-3 now, so you can play with them. With UNLV this weekend, and then Boise State after that coming back to the pit. Like, the race for second is still there. That's what it is. It's a race for second place in the Mountain West Conference. Everyone chasing UNLV, but you got to jig yourself out of a rough spot that they've fallen into the last 3 games.
What is it? And you said, it doesn't super surprise you. They're really struggling late in games.
Well, there's moments in games. Whether it, at Boise State, you score 54 first half points. And then you get outscored 28-10 in the third quarter. The Fresno State game was the fourth quarter. Midway through, they got blitzed there. Just what happened in the fourth quarter against San Diego State. But that also was a bad start. The Aztecs went 12-0. Here's the thing with the Lobos. Why they emphasize team and effort and execution. There's very few games where they have the best player on the floor. They don't have that person right now. And Coach Bradbury said it again with Ken Sickinger the other day. We've discussed it all season long. They don't have a bucket getter. Like, they have to every game be executing the offense, running plays. Like, they don't have someone that can just step up, hit a couple shots, go one-on-one. And that's challenging. And that's, when we talk about Donovan Day and go, is it sustainable? No, but you have it. You have someone that can take over the game. They don't have that. Like, you step on the floor, Emma Ronsick was first team all Big East last year. She's obviously the best player on the floor for Colorado State.
Yeah.
Mia Jacobs for Fresno State. Like, so they have to just battle and grind on both sides to give themselves a chance. They've shown they can do it, but it's hard to do that for 40 minutes.
All right. You get that tonight. As far as men's basketball, Mountain West tonight, if you're not going out to the pit, Utah State tries to bounce back. They'll be at Wyoming. That is a 6:30 game on the Mountain West Network. Nevada will be at Air Force. That's 7 o'clock also on the Mountain West Network. And San Jose State at Fresno State on the Mountain West Network. Boise State at UNLV is an interesting game. Late start, 9 o'clock, CBS Sportsnet. And, of course, tomorrow, Colorado State, New Mexico on FS1. 8:30 will be the start tomorrow night at the pit. New Mexico and Colorado State, and a big one for your first place. New Mexico Lobos taking on the third place team in the league in Colorado State right now. Other stuff is as you go through it. Nelly Jr. Joseph was named Mountain West Conference Player of the Week yesterday. The Naismith Hall of Fame released its 10-player Bob Cousy Award midseason watch list for best point guard in the nation. Donovan Dent was not on that list, which is criminal, and that's what Richard Pitino tweeted. The 50-player midseason watch list for the Oscar Robertson Player of the Year Award, Donovan Dent was listed on that. As far as what you're watching in the NFL, as you go through Super Week, Cooper Kupp is on the market. Lakers have let him know that we're trading you. He made it known that he doesn't want to be traded, but he's going. The Browns are going to deal with Myles Garrett's trade request. The NFL's Defensive Player of the Year requested a trade out of Cleveland. Wants to win. He's 29 years old, and he's a stud. JJ, what do you think of this? The press conference yesterday, Roger Goodell said the NFL is considering a professional flag football league. He said the work is very much underway. It makes sense financially for them. I can see that as a spring. I see more people watching that if there's like really recognizable players than maybe watching UFL.
Another way to get to the Olympics.
Yeah. All right. Thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes in at 4. That's after the Jim Rome show, which is at 1 o'clock. So it's the Herd, Jim Rome, 2 Men On from New Orleans, and then we're back with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. JJ cracks the mic from the pit. 8 o'clock pregame, 8:30 tip-off. JJ will have Louisville women's basketball, Colorado State. Adrian, great work. Thank you for all you're doing on that end. Big day for you. Have a great call tonight.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
In 63 points, the night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people, the day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters